long time ago, in a land of rolling hills and golden deserts, there was a young shepherd boy named David. David wasn't very tall, and he wasn't very strong, but he had a brave heart, a quick mind, and a sling he knew how to use better than anyone else. David's day began like any other, with the golden morning light spilling over the hills of Bethlehem. He guided his sheep to a lush green pasture, humming a tune he'd made up. One day, David's father, Jesse, sent him to deliver food to his brothers, who were soldiers in the Israelite army.
Your brothers are with King Saul's army. Take this food to them and bring back news of the battle.
So David set out to the battlefield. He carried the basket of bread and other things the father sent him with, and he went on his way joyfully, full of expectations. From the Philistine camp emerged a giant named Goliath, a man so huge and intimidating that his armor alone weighed more than most people could carry. Every day for 40 days, Goliath would step forward and shout to the Israelites. When David arrived, he saw the giant mocking God's people and heard the whispers of fear in the camp. But instead of being scared, David's heart burned with courage.
Choose a man to fight me.
Goliath roared.
If he wins, we will be your slaves. But if I win, you will serve us.
The Israelites were terrified. No one dared to face Goliath, not even King Saul, their tallest and mightiest warrior.
Isn't anyone going to fight him?
David asked.
Are you kidding? He's too big, he's too strong. No one can defeat Goliath.
David frowned.
But he's insulting our people and our God. Someone has to stop him.
Word of David's boldness reached King Saul, and the young shepherd was brought before him.
You want to fight Goliath?
Saul asked incredulously.
You're just a boy.
Your Majesty, I fought lions and bears to protect my sheep. God kept me safe then, and he'll keep me safe now.
If you're so determined, then may the Lord be with you.
The king sighed and handed David his armor. But it was too big and heavy. David shook his head.
I can't fight like this. I'll use what I know.
David walked to a nearby stream, kneeling to select 5 smooth stones. As he picked them, he whispered a prayer.
Lord, give me strength, not for my glory, but for yours.
Goliath spotted David and laughed, his voice echoing through the valley.
Come closer, boy, and I'll feed you to the birds.
David's heart pounded, but he didn't back down.
You come at me with a sword and a spear.
He said, his voice steady.
But I come at you in the name of the Lord Almighty. Today, he will deliver you into my hands.
David said with his heart filled with courage.
Am I a dog, that you come at me with sticks?
David's heart pounded, but he didn't back down. David swung his sling, faster and faster, until the stone flew like a bolt of lightning. It struck Goliath square in the forehead. The giant's laughter stopped. His eyes widened in shock as he stumbled and fell with a thunderous crash. The Israelites erupted into cheers, while the Philistines fled in terror. David stood over Goliath, holding his sling tightly. He looked up at the cheering soldiers and smiled. King Saul approached him, his face filled with awe.
You've done what no one else dared to do. You've saved us all.
That evening, the Israelites returned to their camp victorious. The soldiers sang songs of praise, and David's brothers finally looked at him with pride.
You've grown up, little brother.
Maybe a little.
Years later, David became a great king, but he never forgot the lesson he learned that day. With faith and courage, even the smallest person can achieve the greatest victories. As he told his children and grandchildren the story of the giant, he always ended with these words.
Never let fear stop you. Trust in God, and you can face any giant.